Okay, maybe this one will work.
I hope so. Wait, tell me about what happened in Pilates.
Okay, there were only 3 of us in the class.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't sign up, so it was just 3 of us. So it's sort of very intimate, and we started talking. And the teacher was like, "How are your rabbits?" to this woman.
No. Mm-mm.
And she said, "Well, they're good," and blah, blah, blah. It turns out they're giant rabbits.
Absolutely not. In Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, but she moved them on the porch because her in-laws' dogs came for Thanksgiving.
Wait.
I was like, first of all, you have a porch?
You have a porch. That I was going to say that. Because I was about to be like, in an apartment, but I'm like, oh, right.
Oh,
They're
right.
rich.
Yes.
It's probably a townhouse.
But I was like, what do you feed it? And well, I don't know why. I was just like, I felt like I was on acid or something. And she was like, kale.
No.
And I said, well, is it curly or lacinato?
I didn't even know there were 2 different types.
I don't know why I said that. But, and she said, we're not rich enough for lacinato, so I feed them curly, and it's not even organic.
No. That's insane. That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
That's some real Carol Gardens lady shit.
Yeah, 100%. Hi, Charlotte.
Hey, Madeline.
We're back.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Lot of turkey. As I said, I was excited. Best turkey I've ever had.
What?
Shout out to
Wow.
my cousin Curie and my uncle Pete for putting together a real feast.
Wow, shout out to them. Oh my God. We did not have turkey.
And my Aunt Carola, who is one of our number 1 fans.
Shout out. Thanks for listening and maybe watching.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. We just hung out in Brooklyn and my husband made delicious short rib.
Ooh.
It was so good.
Ooh.
And then I made some Molly Baz mashed potatoes. Classic.
Classic.
And a classic Allison Roman stuffing.
Oh my
just
God.
Keep the train rolling with the cool girl chef
Cool girl
recipes.
I just said Goyle.
You did? I didn't even know.
Goyle recipes.
Cool Goyle recipes.
Well, we hope everybody listening had a great Thanksgiving too. And you all did us a favor actually, because we put out a call on both of our Instagram stories and Instagram of @SportsGossipShow, which you should be following if you're not, and said, what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah. And we got some incredible responses, but also I felt like, was everyone hacked in our Google Doc and logged in and saw that all these topics were things we also wanted to talk about?
It was incredible. I was like, is this an open Google Doc?
I know.
One of those things.
I know. I was like, yep, talking about that. Yes. But there were a few things that were new.
No, I actually learned 2 things, Madeline. I learned, I don't know if you knew either of these. Did you know that Kelsey Plum, star for the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA,
the one who we talked about last week, had a bad Jamba Juice smoothie. I'll leave it at that.
One of my favorite clips. Pretty gross. But also the one who was dating Darren Waller, who is an NFL player, and he made a music video when they broke up. Were they married?
I think they were married. Yeah.
Well, he made a music video where like he's singing very badly and it's like completely auto-tuned and really bad. And then at the end, someone is clearly playing Kelsey Plum, but it's like a bootleg version of a Kelsey Plum, and she stabs him in the back, literally, and he bleeds out on a beach.
Correct.
So,
anyway,
so Kelsey, someone DM'd me, Samuel, thank you, and said, it seems like she might be dating a member of the Memphis Grizzlies.
What? Based on what? Information.
She's been in a lot of games, people have said, or a few games.
Okay.
I shouldn't say a lot. And he is the only Memphis Grizzly that she follows is Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
And he follows her.
The plot thickens. I think, Samuel, you may be onto something here.
So thank you for that. Also, did you know that your quarterback,
Carson Beck,
of the University of Georgia, is dating one of the Cavender twins, who were those twins at the University of Miami on the basketball stars?
Oh, yes.
Who like raked it in with NIL.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, I should have looked this up. Not fully sure what they're up to. But
I have no idea what they're up to, but one of them is apparently dating our quarterback who really pulled it out in the end in that 8 overtime win against Georgia Tech. That shouldn't have gone to 8 overtimes. My Bulldogs. What was going on there? It was fun to watch.
Was it stressful for you?
Yes, because I was like, we cannot lose to Georgia Tech. I don't even think Georgia Tech is ranked. They're definitely not ranked. And I'm like, we can't.
8
This isn't
overtime.
good. Not good.
That's like clown overtime.
No. But can I say something in defense of Georgia Tech, which I can't believe I'm saying that sentence, but Georgia Tech deserved to win that game. We did not deserve to win. That quarterback, I mean, those players were like getting injured left and right on Georgia Tech's team. They were throwing their full bodies, minds, hearts, souls into that game, and they lost. They should have won.
You might be the most evolved college football fan I've ever heard speak into a microphone.
Listen, I never got an invite to the SEC championship, which is really sad, so it's fine. And I am a ride or die Georgia Bulldog fan. However, I do think Georgia Tech deserved to win that game.
A true fan can recognize when their team...
It's growth.
Big
Maturity.
Big time. I just didn't finish my sentence. When their team... Sure, you knew what I meant.
I knew what you meant. I was like, I got it. No, I didn't know that well. I wish them the best.
Yeah, and I'm also just grateful that everybody let us know things that maybe we didn't, so keep it coming.
Yeah.
Our DMs are open.
Very open.
And we'll keep putting those question sticker things on social media.
Question sticker things. I like that. The question sticker?
Do they have a name? The question sticker.
I think it's just the question sticker. Instagram, Mr. Instagram, if you are listening, let us know that. I think it's just called the question sticker.
Mr. Zuckerberg.
Thank you.
Let us know what's up.
Thank you.
Anyway, I would say that there were a couple overarching things people wanted us to talk about.
Yeah.
But we cannot start the show without a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce update because we have one.
We have one. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce spent Thanksgiving together.
I did not know this.
They spent Thanksgiving together at her home in Nashville. And according to Page 6, it was not just them who spent Thanksgiving together. It wasn't just like a little two of them. It was Taylor's parents, Andrew and Scott Swift, and they hosted the entire Kelce family.
Like Donna, Ed.
Yes, and I believe Jason Kelce and Kylie Kelce and their kids all went to Nashville, according to Page 6. A quote from an insider, of course, which... Tree Payne,
we see you. Taylor Swift's publicist is the devil works hard, but Tree Payne works harder.
She's worked so hard. Tree, come on the pod.
Oh my God.
Quote, it was really important to Taylor and Travis to spend Thanksgiving together this year since they've never been able to before. So,
look, more power to them.
Reading that quote out loud. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
It kind of said nothing.
I was just, when you said it, I was like, I honestly do not know how to react to this. This is word salad. This is like romaine lettuce word salad. This is air and water.
I had put the quote in here. I was like, I'll say this. This will be good. This will be good content.
Sick.
That quote was absolutely nothing. That said nothing. I'm sorry.
Congrats. Here's the thing.
That was the most word salad statement. You're so right.
It was, but I think it's important that we read it, thought through it, and then acknowledged it.
Growth.
So here's the thing, Madeline. I feel like Taylor Swift, I feel like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I feel like she really goes all out for.
100%.
You know, and I feel like she was probably very adamant about cooking the whole thing herself.
Yeah.
Or, having some help.
Right.
But be like, I am not going to celebrity this.
No.
I am going to prove that I am a normal woman.
Yes.
Who makes a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Which I would argue is not normal because it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
So she's a super woman. Oh,
I got where you were going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was like, I am not buying this I'm not gold bellying this from Butterfield Market.
Wow, that was niche. I do love that. If this had
Those
been
who know.
If this podcast had been like 12 or 15 years ago, that reference would have just been Dean and DeLuca.
Yes.
Miss that Dean and DeLuca on Broadway. You know the one?
Oh my God, yes.
Iconic.
Incredible.
Iconic.
We miss it every day.
Do we?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
All these other markets that have come out, like the one you mentioned, and now I'm thinking of all these
Union
shops.
Market.
Union Market. Mm-hmm. There's this one that I keep seeing on TikTok that's opening allegedly at some point this year. Someone is going to remember this name.
In New York?
Yes, it is. Oh my God. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a guy who's starting like another Dean and DeLuca. I mean, the food looks so good. He like recipe tests. If someone is listening and knows what I'm talking about.
What is it?
I can't remember the name of it. It's opening in Tribeca. And I'm like, all of these markets would not be here. Happier Grocer. I mean, that's more like Erewhon.
Yeah,
But Erewhon also is kind of in the Dean and DeLuca family.
Oh.
Dean and DeLuca, original influencer.
Dean and DeLuca
of a shoppy shop.
Walked so that the market, anything that ends in market in New York could run.
Yes.
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 Also, did you know that Erewhon was founded in Cambridge, Massachusetts as like a bulk grain health food store?
You know, I actually did know that because there's
did you read the same article I did?
Yeah, the one in New York Mag. Oh, it's so good. Go read the article. The ending is what a plot twist. I won't spoil the ending, but it's a great article.
It's a really good article.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, oh, cool. Everything good comes from Massachusetts. Sort of.
Massachusetts propaganda once again from Charlotte.
Once again. Okay, should we get to the thing that most people asked us to talk about?
Yes. We got so many messages on Instagram about the first topic we want to get into today. And of course, when I saw it, I was like, yes, 100. Obviously, we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Duh. Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, is engaged to actress and lifestyle entrepreneur. Newsletterpreneur.
Yeah.
Hailee Steinfeld.
Sure.
Josh Allen proposed during their bye week in Malibu, I believe.
Yes.
I did some digging. I could not find any information about the proposal or who planned it, but if anyone has any information about that, please let me know.
Who planned it?
Because it is like, it's on a cliff and there's lots of flowers, but I'm like, it looks like there's a bunch of candles, but I'm like, it's not dark out.
Right. Well, isn't that what people do? I feel like there's a certain cliff in Malibu where a lot of celebrities go to propose. Or I guess, didn't Travis Barker propose to Kourtney Kardashian on the beach?
On the beach.
Like Point Doom or something?
On the beach, yeah.
Maybe
correct.
they were above it. I don't know. I feel like this is a whole cottage industry. Planning proposals.
Planning proposals.
Who puts up those flower arches?
There is nothing that screams celebrity proposal or wedding quite like one of those insane flower arches
with candles all around it. And
I also feel like it's something specific to athlete weddings. I've noticed that like athlete weddings in particular love this like certain type of flower arch. It's like very compressed.
Yes.
And it's one type of flower.
Very compressed, and it's usually white or pink.
Yes.
I would go so far as to venture, Madeline, I haven't fact-checked this, we should though, that Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens have the same wedding planner as Brittany Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I
think of those photos.
Yes.
The white flower arches.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes.
I mean, you're talking to a woman who got married with 10 people in her parents' backyard, so I'm not the target audience for this sort of service.
Right. No,
but I do respect it because I think it's got to be harder. How do you get those flowers jammed in there?
I don't know.
How much do you think that flower arch cost, Josh Allen?
I would say probably conservatively at least $15,000. I would guess.
It's a lot of flowers.
I would guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what flowers cost for weddings. I got married and we had like small amount of flowers and it was still expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. If someone works in the wedding industry and knows how much.
No, I think
probably at least 15. Don't you think?
Yeah. But do you think the candles were scented? It just occurred to me.
I mean, were they like Bed Bath & Beyond candles?
No, come on.
Could you imagine a bunch of like the Christmas scent candles?
Yankee Candle, like Maine Forest.
Yeah. No, literally.
No, I mean like what's that one?
Like a Lalabo candle?
Yeah, or the one with the ornate. Yes.
Diptyque. I actually did just buy a gift to myself for, I guess you could call it Cyber Monday, Black Friday.
Stop it.
I bought discounted Diptyque hand soap.
I don't know why that's so sad.
Because I was like, I'm an adult. I should have not Mrs. Myers in the bathroom.
Look,
you know, I use that in the kitchen, but it's not a bathroom soap.
Having nice hand soap as an adult is like it's like using cloth napkins. Not that I ever do that. Like I still use paper towels.
I did actually just buy cloth napkins.
See? It's a similar vibe.
It's a similar vibe.
And like having that nice hand soap, I have to say that we have, not to brag, really nice hand soap.
Oh.
And using it every day, it's like a little bit of luxury.
It's a reward.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Josh Allen and Hailee Steinfeld got engaged.
Yeah, but that's not even what we want to talk about. Though.
No. That's not the juiciest part.
That's just like the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what you learned about Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend, please?
Yeah. So I did some digging. Josh Allen was with Brittany Williams from 2017 to 2023.
Okay.
And they'd known each other since they were kids. And growing up in Fresno, California, Josh Allen went to Wyoming. They reconnected, I guess, and started dating. And they were together for, that's a good 6 years or so. And they broke up. And then, a year later, he's engaged. And I think this is one of those, you just, either when you know, or also that Sex in the City quote from Carrie where she's like, men are like taxi cabs. and they, at some point their light goes on.
Yeah.
And the next person who gets into the car, they're just going to marry them.
Yeah.
Like, not that they're just going to marry them. They're just
Right.
ready and they
Right.
find the right person and then it happens. Williams, there's some Instagram drama.
Oh.
Because someone commented to Brittany Williams, who is now a Pilates instructor. I think she is like Fit by Brit or something.
Fit by Brit.
She used social media as a wag to get a higher profile. Very
As
smart.
she should. As she should.
Yep. And someone commented on a random Instagram post, as far as I know, quote, "Haven't found the next pro athlete yet." And she appeared to write back, "Luckily, my boyfriend owns a team and doesn't play for one." The prayer hands emoji. "Don't have to be with another brain dead CTE athlete."
No. Oh.
That's obviously like a horrible thing to say.
Yes. Not great. That's not a great thing to say.
So Brittany then posts she posted a fully black Instagram story, where it's just like the black, and then in small white font on the bottom said, "I was hacked. Trying to figure out, all my accounts were hacked, trying to figure out who did this."
Please.
I was hacked.
I have a lot to say about this.
Okay.
Number one, I am empathetic to the fact that she's, I'm going to guess, a little bitter that she was with an NFL quarterback for 6 years and then they break up and then he's engaged to Hailee Steinfeld, a year later or something like that?
Yes.
I get it. I'm empathetic. I would be mad too. I would be mad. And I would also probably become a Pilates instructor too. That kind of tracks with that trajectory. But let me tell you, as someone who works in social media for my job,
Yes.
there's no way she was hacked. I don't believe it. I know she's saying that. There is no, because here's the thing. Most people at this point have 2-factor authentication turned on their Instagram accounts. Okay. And also her saying I was hacked on everything based on what? What hacker?
So also
Your Gmail? Like who's trying to hack into fitbybrit@gmail.com or whatever the email address is?
right, where were you hacked?
Where were you hacked?
How were you hacked? Also,
Yes.
why did the person who hacked you, who you would think would be a scammer, from
Right.
another country or
Correct.
something, not necessarily, but that's often, these are offshore operations. Why would that person then reply to a specific comment
Correct.
with a very, very personal
Correct.
response?
Correct.
Just say you made a mistake.
Made a mistake.
Just say, in the heat of the moment, I responded, I really regret it. And
Yes.
then the streak goes away.
Correct.
But instead, we're talking about how Brittany Williams was probably not hacked. Look, I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
I'm not an Instagram doctor.
All I'll say, little fishy.
It's a little fishy.
But
I don't believe it. Also, wait, who's her new boyfriend who owns a team?
Now I really want to know. There are only so many people in this world who own a
Wait,
professional sports
Let
team.
me look this up. Just as a side note right now, there's a vacuum going off, I think, above us. Again, we're doing this ourselves. We don't have a proper office yet.
Yeah, we're in my apartment at my dining room table, and I think the super is vacuuming the front hall.
Correct. I think so, because of course that's happening right now. So if you hear that and you're like, what is that noise? It's a vacuum. Apologies. Hopefully it ends soon.
Yeah, we hope it ends soon. I'm really sorry. Also, once again, if we haven't said it before, we're doing this ourselves.
And if you want to partner with us, you can email info@sportsgossipshow.com.
If you'd like to give us money so that we can afford a studio, let us know.
Do you like how I say partner, which is like the industry friendly word for give us money? And Charlotte's just like, no, give us money.
I'm like, let's just beat around the bush here. We could use a little
so
cash.
we don't have to hear a vacuum.
This is actually for your listening pleasure. Like,
for your
you would be
yeah.
doing this for yourself.
For yourself. You'll have a better headphone listening experience.
But in the meantime, this is what we're listening to, so it's what you're listening to.
Sorry. Anyways. No, I could not find any information about this boyfriend, so I don't know what the reference is.
I don't either. I'm like, is that true? You know what I mean? Like, if she said she was hacked and we don't believe that,
right?
And then she says she's dating the owner of a team, do we believe that? Also, most of these owners are married. Most of them are older.
Right.
There are very few available
that is so
owners.
true.
So it would mean, statistically, she could be.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that because obviously they're single owners, but like.
Weird. Suspicious. Anyways, if anyone has any more information about who she's dating now, would love to know, or of this alleged hacking.
Quick question for you, Madeline. Where do we think Hailee and Josh will get married? LA? Destination? Buffalo?
Definitely not Buffalo. No offense to Buffalo. I think probably LA.
I think so too.
It just feels right. I feel like they'll get married, I think they'll get married in Santa Barbara.
Why?
At the Rosewood Miramar.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful hotel on the beach in Santa Barbara. Mm-hmm. I have never stayed there, but I've driven by it many times. Gone. Who stays there? Well,
maybe
people stay there.
Hailee Steinfeld.
I feel like that's the place they would get married because they seem like a hotel venue type of couple. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's certain people that you're like, that's a hotel wedding couple. And then there are other people that you're like, that's a courthouse wedding couple people. And then there are other people who you're like, you're getting married and you're having a dinner at a cool, intimate restaurant.
Also,
they're none of those people. They're hotel wedding people.
No. Yeah. Definitely hotel wedding.
Because they're going to have a flower arch.
Yeah.
You can't have that in an Italian restaurant in the West Village.
Absolutely not.
Not going to work.
I would argue, too, that they feel like a ballroom wedding.
Yes.
They feel like a West Coast version of Christian McCaffrey and Olivia Culpo's wedding, which took place at the Ocean House in Rhode Island.
Yes.
And
kind of the Rosewood.
Would be the Rosewood.
Yes. A little bit cheap, a little bit more like if you know would probably be the San Ysidro Ranch. That's also in Montecito. That's amazing. A niche California references. Yeah. But I don't think they would do it there. You have to buy out the whole property. I don't think they would do it there.
Okay. I feel like they have the money.
They have the money, but I don't feel like they're going to do it there.
Okay. I'm going to trust your gut on that one. Hailee Steinfeld is from Tarzana.
Okay. Yeah.
In Los Angeles. That's the valley.
Correct. Which is also, that's an easy drive up the 101.
Exactly.
To get to Santa Barbara. Probably 90 minutes, if even.
You're not fighting through traffic.
Correct. You're going opposite.
So I'm really interested to see how, if there's any fallout from this Brittany Williams post. I also love a moment like this because it is when the former girlfriend, who is used to being really just in the spotlight for a lot of it, which has to be really hard to all of a sudden not have that exposure you once had, take an opportunity to again become a part of a narrative.
Correct. Yeah.
You have to respect it.
You got to respect it.
Like, people are talking about her in addition, but it's also what she did was more interesting than getting engaged.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not good.
No, but I think you're right.
We live in an attention economy.
We do.
I don't know if you've heard.
I don't know if you've heard. Well, speaking of other couples, Ali Krieger, the incredible soccer player, is dating a new lady.
You wrote about this in your newsletter.
I did, in Personal Foul, and personalfoul.com. Subscribe. So Ali Krieger, for those who don't know, was married to Ashlyn Harris, a soccer player who was not as good as Ali Krieger.
No, it's important.
Just want to make that distinction. Just want to clarify. So last year, they announced they're getting a divorce. And the divorce was... how it was handled was like a little bit messy because very quickly after the divorce was announced, Ashlyn Harris began dating former One Tree Hill star Sophia Bush, which love Sophia Bush. However,
the timeline is murky.
It's murky. Sophia Bush ended up doing this cover story where she wrote an essay about like setting the record straight. And you're like, did you need to do that? That I feel like also just reinforces that maybe the timeline was a little bit messy.
Who did she write that for again?
I think it was Glamour.
Yeah. I feel like any year past 2014, 2016, the personal essay, the celebrity personal essay. What are we doing?
We don't need to do that anymore.
We don't need to do that. You have an Instagram.
Just post it on Instagram.
It there.
Post it there.
You have a lot of options. You could do it in the caption.
And Sophia Bush is very online.
Very online. Yeah. She once reposted something that I tweeted or something on Instagram. And I got more messages from that. People were like, oh my God, Sophia Bush reposted you.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow,
this is fame.
Wow. Well, anyway, so as you can tell, there's like a lot of kind of messiness with the breakup, and
they had 2 kids, right?
They had 2 kids, yes.
Ali Krieger and Ashlyn Harris together,
correct.
Who they now co-parent.
Correct. So Ashlyn Harris has been posting a lot of photos of Sophia Bush. That's a little bit much, in my opinion, for that quickly.
What do you think the appropriate... It's tough. Never mind. It's different for everybody, but...
I don't know. I think the more you're posting a significant other on Instagram, the more there's stuff going on behind the scenes that you're trying to deflect.
Couldn't agree more.
There's just something going on.
The ratio of post Yeah, no.
There's
I'm
just,
with you.
I feel like there's always something you're projecting.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. That's my own opinion. Anyways, Ali Krieger has a new girlfriend, Jen Beattie, who is I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correct. Jen Beattie?
It's
Beattie?
spelled. It looks like
I think it's Beattie.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so she said in September that she wanted to keep her new relationship private, but then I guess on Thanksgiving decided.
Ali said that?
Ali said that.
Okay.
But then I guess decided pretty quickly that she didn't want to do that. And then reposted on her Instagram story on Thanksgiving a cute, cuddly photo with Jen that Jen had posted on her Instagram story, which I love like a medium launch.
Oh,
On
yes.
Instagram stories.
Yes, because
not a hard launch in feed.
A hard launch is when you post someone on your grid on feed.
Yeah.
A medium launch is posting someone on your stories.
Correct.
And a soft launch is like maybe someone's hand in
Yes.
a picture so that you know they're dating someone.
Right.
And like if you know that person, you recognize the jewelry.
Yes.
Or like maybe the back of someone's head.
Correct.
I would say that's a soft launch.
That's a song. So this, I think, an Instagram story is a medium launch. And so Beattie wrote, quote, thankful for you, happy Thanksgiving, thankful for you, happy Thanksgiving, my love, at Ali Krieger with a heart. And then Krieger added and reposted, you have no idea.
Oh my God. That okay.
Okay.
This is a chef's kiss because this is a masterclass in saying Ali Krieger has not talked about the Ashlyn Harris breakup very much.
No, she's like implied it's been a challenging year. And
Yes,
she's never like really explicitly said anything. Her family has come to her defense. If you remember, like last year, her brother, I think, and other family members came to her defense.
And there have been some cryptic Instagram posts and stuff, but I feel like Ashlyn Harris and Sophia Bush's essay is about as explicit as you can get, and Ali has not done that. So I feel like her saying it's an interesting choice because by saying you have no idea, she was saying I'm so grateful for you. There is almost an implicit comparison to her past relationship,
right?
Where it's like I've been through it and you are treating me correctly, which is both a compliment to Jen Beattie, who is a very impressive person in her own right.
Yeah.
And also like thanks for not being in my life anymore, Ashlyn Harris, because I don't need that.
Correct. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. And Jen, like you just said, seems pretty amazing. She's a Scottish soccer player, currently with Bay FC. Previously, she played for Arsenal and Manchester City.
Heard of it.
Big famous teams. You don't need to know much more than that they're just famous. Fun fact, she used to date a Love Island winner named Amber Gill, and I forgot to put that in my newsletter.
No
but
way.
Key fun detail. Yes.
Is there a more Love Island name than Amber Gill?
No, that right there.
Top of the mountain.
Amber Gill.
Peak Love Island.
It's quick. You remember it. Can't
Amber.
forget it. Amber.
Well, do you think that Jen Beattie and Ali Krieger have good banter?
I'm sorry. Can you say that
did,
again?
No.
Can you say
that was
again?
A one-time only deal? They got to chatting. Isn't that Love Island? They're like the banter was good. The amount of times I tried to do an accent.
I feel like you've done an accent like 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Well, maybe I've said I'm
Charlotte's
waiting for my SAG card.
You're waiting for your SAG card. You're trying to pivot away from sports to becoming a dramatic actor,
a voice actor.
Oh,
like
okay.
Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay,
people forget.
Yeah. Okay,
that was his job. And then he got fired, and then he went home, and then he brought the horse into the house, and Sally Field was like, "What are you doing?"
Wow. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
So Beattie also, this is kind of sad, but she's doing good now. In October 2020, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and just 5 days after being diagnosed, she helped Arsenal beat Brighton 5-0. Could you imagine?
That's
She's
unbelievable.
gone through a lot. Yeah. And while she was undergoing cancer treatment, she did continue to play for Arsenal in Scotland. And then in 2021, she was awarded the Helen Rollison Award in recognition of the work she had done since the diagnosis. And then in 2023, she was given like the award of the awards in the United Kingdom, and she was appointed member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE.
No way.
For her work with Association Football and charity. So
Jen Beattie.
Come on.
Okay.
She seems like a great choice.
I mean, seems like a catch. Ali Krieger's a catch. I'm so happy for them. I can't wait for the hard launch though.
Oh.
because
Yeah, let me just make sure there has not been. I don't think there's been one since the last I checked.
I don't think so either. And I think that the hard launch to me is, it's always so fascinating how people do it. Do you do it with a, short caption that's kind of a jokey caption?
Right.
Do you do the like, so grateful for you, my love, my life would not be the same without you now.
Right.
I can't believe I haven't known you forever. Or do you just do an emoji? Do you just tag them with a little wink? Like there's so many different varieties of hard launch.
Right. No, she has not hard launched her yet.
Her skin looks amazing.
She looks great. I'm congrats to Ali.
Congrats to Ali.
Congrats to Ali.
All right. Well, it's time to get to another thing that we got probably the most messages about, which was flag planting and football brawls.
Yes. And I do want to ask a question that someone posed to us about this before getting into it. Ben on Instagram asked us, brawls at sporting events and lack of brawls at Black Friday sales, is it correlated?
Wow. Okay, so if you don't know, this past weekend was rivalry weekend in college football, and there were probably 5 instances of the road teams who won trying to plant their flag on the field of the home team who had just lost. So like Michigan, Ohio State's probably the biggest brawl because
crazy.
It went nuts.
Players were pepper sprayed.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Michigan won at Ohio State, and then someone tried to plant the Michigan flag in the center of the O at midfield. And then, I mean, it was violent. Punches were thrown.
Yeah.
The police ended up pepper spraying people, which is just like so gross and excessive and bad. Ohio State is maybe the scariest place I've ever been in my life, Madeline.
Really? Tell me more.
There is something about that fan base. And it's this huge imposing stadium. It looks like it's a coliseum. They call it the horseshoe because it's the shape of a horseshoe. It's open on one side. And the student section is out of their minds. And there's like, the look in Ohio State fans' eyes, they like go, it's like they go
somewhere else.
Hatred. I've been to the Michigan Ohio State game at Ohio State.
Oh my God.
And the hatred for Michigan is, they won't say the word, they cross out every M on campus with red tape.
Stop.
They refuse to say the name, they say that school up north. I mean, this history and the rivalry actually dates back to like a war between Michigan and Ohio State. So planting a flag, which is like a very military conquest thing, feels like a natural extension of that.
Yeah, and it certainly was a bold choice though for Michigan to do that at Ohio State. But also, listen, if I was Michigan, wouldn't you do the same thing?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
I also want to say that when I say that about Ohio State fans, like, that's not shade. I think Ohio State fans would agree with me and be proud of it.
Right.
So I'm not saying anything out of turn here.
No,
I don't think.
No, I don't think you are. But there was a high number of fights. I believe there were 8 fights. So there was like 5 or so flag planting and then some like additional scuffles, which feels like a high amount of fights, even for a rivalry weekend. Totally. And so, Ben, I think to your question, like, what's going on here? Maybe it's because most Black Friday deals are now online.
I would argue that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are one and the same.
They're one and the same. You're not waking up at 3 a.m. to go to Macy's
or Best Buy.
It's not the same.
I always correlate.
It is Best Buy. It's Best Buy and Macy's.
Right? Like that's Black Friday.
That is Black
Friday.
Like
you need a new TV? Go now.
Well, and back then when you would wait in line and there were brawls at Black Friday sales in person, it was because the deals were actually good deals. Now it's like they're giving you 25% off when you can get a welcome 10 code. It's like 10% more off. Isn't that big of a discount, people?
Give me 40.
Come on.
Give
40,
me 50. You want me
60.
to buy everything? 60.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
You know what I learned this Black Friday that is actually the best thing that Black Friday is for now as a woman in my mid-30s?
What?
Kitchen equipment.
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 beautiful pants.
Oh, from where?
One is all clad.
Oh,
and
that's
one
nice
is Le Breu, whatever. That's the carbon steel ones.
Couldn't tell you.
Those are expensive, and we got really good deals.
So they
on
were
them.
good Black Friday
We've been
deals.
talking about getting these pants for months.
Okay.
Pulled the trigger.
Wow. Okay. Those are good.
Like,
those are good things.
We'll have those for the rest of our lives. You know,
that's an investment piece.
I'm getting emotional.
Well, oh my God.
Kidding.
No, but I do think that there's something to it because it's like you're letting out all of the pent up energy you thought you're going to be able to let out waiting in line at 3 a.m. at Macy's for 70% off of a merino wool sweater. That you can't do anymore. So now everyone's letting off steam on the field
at football games.
that should have happened.
Also, who's to say? Like, things are tense in America right now. I don't know if you heard.
Didn't know if you heard.
So maybe Thanksgiving was a tense moment for some people.
Okay, yes.
And then they are just like, I can't fight my uncle who said that weird thing, so I'm just going to fight Michigan. You know what I mean?
I think you're onto something there.
Just tossing that out. Flag planting is interesting to me because it started, I think, really with Baker Mayfield, who is currently the quarterback of the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, but was the quarterback of Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, who planted a flag at Oklahoma State after Oklahoma won. And that at the time, that didn't result in like violence, but there was the pearl clutching, Madeline. People were like, how could he do this to the sanctity of the sport? This game we love, college football, so pure. And it's like, okay, that's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard.
Right.
But I do think that it's interesting that this year it seemed to go to this tipping point where this happens.
Yeah.
This has happened in past, like since 2017, people plant flags.
Yeah.
And this year it seemed like everything just exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of pent-up aggression. There's a way to have flags and not do that.
Because I love flags. So what are they
They're
going to do?
nice when they run out with them,
They're going to take them away?
I mean, maybe they let them run out with them, and then they just have to go away. The flags go away.
Put them in a locker.
Put them in a
them
locker.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's a solution. I don't know.
But I do think that it has something to do with Black Friday and Thanksgiving.
100%. Yeah, Ben, I think you're right on that. So
also, maybe
it's
it's just like people trying to go viral is like the worst possible.
Yeah.
Explanation.
Maybe.
Anyway. One more thing on this. My favorite was that at Arizona, played Arizona State.
Yeah.
And an Arizona State player, he didn't plant a flag at Arizona. He took the mascot. The mascot of Arizona State is a Sun Devil, and he holds a sort of trident. And one of the players took the trident and planted the trident.
Oh my God!
It wasn't even a flag. It was just a fork.
Wow. Okay. I mean that is a choice.
It's a choice.
Wow.
Reminds me of the Little Mermaid.
That's what I was thinking too. My person.
Yeah.
I was going to say my people, but there's
Ariel.
Ariel.
Ariel. What is it? Ariel. Have you ever tried brushing your hair with a fork?
I have not tried brushing my hair with a fork.
She does that in the movie.
Yes.
You should try it. It's pretty fun. It's like you feel like like when I was little, all I wanted to do after seeing The Little Mermaid was brush my hair with a fork.
I don't really remember what were the song. Oh, Part of This World.
Yeah. Gadgets and gizmos.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
my mom was like, you can't brush your hair with a fork. And then as an adult, like a few years ago, I was like, you know what?
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to brush my hair with a fork. And I did it.
And?
Felt amazing.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll try it.
Just put it in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of Ohio State.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you saw this. Ohio State's former head coach, Urban Meyer, who used to coach the University of Florida, was spotted on Black Friday drinking alone at a bar inside of a grocery store near the stadium.
Okay, so you wrote about this in your newsletter, and I purposely didn't read that one because I wanted to ask you my honest questions just upon hearing this.
Go for it.
There's something... First of all, they have bars in grocery stores?
Yeah, well, that I knew.
Where?
Wait, is that not a thing in the Northeast?
No.
Really?
Not that I know of. That feels very Southern.
Maybe it is a Southern thing. There are definitely some in the South, but the one that I know famously, and I wrote about this in my newsletter, is there's one inside of a Gelson's. Do you know a Gelson's?
No.
It's like a nicer kind of... It's a big grocery store, but like a little bit nicer and a little bit overpriced, in my opinion.
Like on par with like a Wegmans, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or like
I could
a
see
Sprouts,
Wegmans having Sprouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that category.
Okay.
There was a bar inside of a Gelson's in LA in a neighborhood called Silver Lake, which is, if you don't know, LA.
God.
It's like
he was in a Gelson's in Silver Lake?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. No. I would die if Urban Meyer was spotted at the Gelson's.
Like, Urban Meyer knows what Silver Lake is?
Honestly, though, that would track, though, and that would be a really weird specific celebrity spotting. But anyways, this grocery store in LA was known. Like, I would see celebrities there all the time buying Talenti ice cream, like all the time.
Classic.
And I went in there one time with a friend. I was like, we have to sit here and have a drink at this bar inside of a grocery store. There's nothing more insane than pulling up your shopping cart, sitting down and having a brewski in a grocery store with like bright lights. It's just a grocery store.
Oh, I think I would feel insane.
It's insane. It's like something you would do at the airport. You know,
Right.
energetically, it's the same.
Yes.
It's to me, people who go to grocery store bars, unironically, like for real, and just want to go drink, are the same people who are drinking before noon at an airport.
And who get there early specifically
Correct.
to get a drink.
Correct.
At the airport.
I just don't. Whatever. Do you? Doesn't work for me. Anyway, so energetically, Urban Meyer, I feel like is veering into that category because
Where was he?
he was in Ohio.
Oh my God.
At a grocery store, and I can't remember the name of the grocery store, but someone did message me about it and said that they went. It's a very nice grocery store, they said, and that they have been there frequently. But yes, they have a bar inside of the grocery store, and he was spotted. The photo is him posing, but looking like he's been caught.
Yeah.
His expression is just like, if you're watching some video, just like, you know, like mute.
Just like looking like blank eyes.
Yes. And he's posing with a Starbucks employee. And my guess is that there's also a Starbucks inside of this grocery store, like in a Target.
What if he was like to the bar, he's like, can I get an espresso martini? And they're like, no, but
1
we
second.
can have someone from Starbucks come over and pour an espresso into this glass.
That would be interesting.
I feel like this is the most Urban Meyer thing of all time. He's always finds himself in these situations where he's getting photographed when he probably doesn't want to be, such as with young women at bars.
Correct.
But this was not that. This was just him and a Starbucks employee at a bar.
It to me, I was like, what happened here that got him here? And in my opinion, I think he probably. I'm really going to extrapolate.
Oh my God.
here.
Okay. This is our opinion only.
Our opinion only. I feel like he doesn't have a lot of male friends outside of his wife's husbands as friends, which in my opinion don't really count.
Wife's friend's husband.
Wife's husbands, right? Thank you. Wife's.
No, it's okay. I think I said Urban Myers like a bunch of
whatever.
times. So
Outside of the husbands of his, I'm saying,
wife's
you know what I'm
friends.
saying. You know what I
Yes.
mean.
Yes.
That Urban Meyer does not have a lot of male friends,
Mm-hmm.
right? That are actual true friendships because his entire life he's been like focused on football, coaching teams, very stressful jobs. He has a lot of controversies associated with him. That's for a whole different episode. But
the Urban Meyer lore goes.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
You can look at his Wikipedia page. There's a lot going on. But I think that he probably doesn't have a lot of people to hang out with. And so he doesn't really have a lot of hobbies. He's now retired. This is like the third time he's retired.
Yes.
He, like a lot of men in that age range, don't have hobbies or friends. And so they do things like go to a grocery store to get a drink.
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, someone check on Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer needs some friends.
He needs some friends and a hobby. And yes, it can be golf, but I would say maybe expand beyond golf.
I would say he probably already does.
He
golf,
already does that.
and it's gotten cold.
Correct.
So maybe Urban Meyer should take up curling because it's like winter golf, and I'm sure that it's Ohio, like they have to have curling clubs somewhere.
Right.
So I feel like he could do that. I feel like he could get into. I would love to see him, try to take a painting class.
Take a painting class.
Work
Do
out.
a color me mine.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
so fun.
I would even be okay if the color me mine class happened at the grocery store bar.
Same.
Sips and paint. Whatever that
Paint
place
and
is.
sip.
Paint and sip.
I've
Whatever
only
it's
been
called.
to that once.
I've never done one. But no, I just think that photo, if you look at it, there's so much going on in that photo that is unsaid. And I think that he actually probably just needs to go to therapy, make some friends, maybe get some different khakis that are not from Banana Republic on sale.
Okay, well, let's not come from Banana
I'm
Republic.
not coming
pants,
from, I'm just saying he's
because
wearing
I happen
khakis.
to have.
I no shade to Banana Republic. I just mean like he looks like he's retired and really does not have like a life for himself outside of going to this grocery store bar.
Men will literally go to a bar at a grocery store over going to therapy. And those men are Urban Meyer.
Yes.
You know what energetically had the same vibe as this?
What?
Was the current Ohio State coach, Ryan Day.
Okay.
Who is very memeable in general. There is a picture of him watching the brawl after losing to Michigan again. This man has lost to Michigan so many times as the head coach of Ohio State. And he's standing there watching this melee, if that's how you say it, melee, fight. He's watching this fight.
I was thinking of a different word, so go for it.
Okay, well, he's watching this brawl, whatever it is, and he's just standing there, and like his shoulders are hunched, and he's dead behind the eyes, and he's just standing there with his arms long at his sides. That energetically is the same thing as Urban Meyer at a grocery store on Black Friday, at a grocery store bar.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Urban.
I know. I'm like, someone check on him.
Hard to feel bad for the guy, but
Hard to feel bad. But if anyone was there when this photo was taken, please DM us.
I have one tidbit about Urban Meyer.
What?
I once met Urban Meyer at, some sports function thing, and it was a party, and it was like late, and he and his wife were there, and I was talking to him, and he had his cell phone. He took his cell phone out, and his there was a number taped to the back of the phone, and I was like, I asked him, I think I was just like bold because I was like, what? I said, why do you have a number taped to the back of your phone? He was like, oh, it's my number.
No.
I forget everything.
No. That does track, though.
Does not sound right.
That tracks for someone who's going to a grocery store bar on a Friday.
Yeah.
The day after Thanksgiving, whatever. There's so much we could talk about.
Right. Alone? Anyway, was he alone?
I mean, he looked alone.
That's what I mean. I mean,
the
like,
look
we
in
need
his
more
eyes
details.
was alone.
Someone needs to tell us what happened.
I know. Someone let us know.
Oh, my God. Well, speaking of, oh, God, we have 3 depressing men. We have 3 depressing men up next on our list.
I don't know what now.
The first is Aaron Rodgers. Because, as we said last week, it's like, you know what I thought of, Madeline, after we talked about this? Did you watch I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
Where the guy in the hot dog car wearing a hot dog costume drives a hot dog car into a business and shatters the window, and he gets out and he's wearing the hot dog costume, and there's a hot dog car through the wall of the store, and he goes, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. Aaron Rodgers is the guy in the hot dog costume because, as we talked about, everybody in the Jets organization who bears any responsibility for why they are 3-9 has been fired, except for Aaron Rodgers, who is still the starting quarterback.
It blows my mind.
He at a press conference, he was asked, what happened? Is it your fault? Blah, blah. And he goes, there are 11 guys on the field. Sometimes it's my fault. Definitely multiple times today. And then the details aren't there in some other spots too. I feel like half of Aaron Rodgers' problems would go away if he just said, it's on me. I'm the leader. I got to take responsibility. Instead, this news
deflect.
No, and the news cycle keeps going because he keeps saying so. He keeps throwing everybody under the bus in a hot dog costume.
In the same way that Brittany Williams could have just ended things by just ignoring the comment she left or allegedly left and said she was hacked. I feel like they both can take a page out of the just like either own up to it or just kind of move on.
And this is why I think Aaron Rodgers has just always been an agent of chaos. I don't think he wants to move on. I think he likes stirring the pot. Well, obviously,
and I also feel like if we're really going to expand on probably what else is going on with him, I would guess his personal life is probably a little isolating. And so he needs to get some drama somewhere. And he's like one of those guys who just puts all of their life into their work, even if they're not doing that great of a job, which he's not, I would say. But that like they have nothing else going on.
Yeah.
No other hobbies. Nothing's going on.
I feel like I saw an
except dark retreats that he's looking up.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if he's dating anyone. I mean,
that's
I have
what
a lot
saying.
Of questions.
Like, I just feel like him just kind of adding more fuel to the fires because like he needs something to keep his mind busy.
He's a little bored.
I
saw an aerial photo of his house in Montclair, allegedly. Maybe it's just where he stayed at one point. I don't know. It's all glass. And it looks sort of sad. It looks like a Dr. Evil house. You know what I mean? Like the villain's lair where they're just a lonely, sad person.
I don't like that. Bad vibes.
Someone messaged us and was like, the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady updates, there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, when these men stop doing stuff that is juicy and dramatic, this is like, some people would also say, like, why are you still talking about the Jets? This is boring. They suck. Right. We get it. I would argue that where we are is at a late stage season of, say, Selling Sunset, where I might not, it's like a little boring, but I'm also, if something juicy happens, like I'm locked in. I know these people. What did Chriselle say? So like we're in season.
We're locked in.
We're in season like 27 of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be interested.
I'm always going to be interested.
I'm just going to be interested.
Sorry.
What did Tom Brady do this week?
Oh my God. Tom Brady. The gift that keeps on giving, which I didn't tell you this.
What?
I have somewhat of an update from last week.
Oh my God.
So let me say, I didn't tell you. I was going to tell you this.
Oh, this is thrilling.
So you know how he's having the auction. So Sotheby's is doing a big auction of Tom Brady's memorabilia. We were like, we should go to this auction. Well, I got insider intel that it is almost impossible to go to this auction.
Really?
It is a hush-hush event. However, I know someone who is going.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
going to name names. They are going to give us some inside tea on what happens at the auction.
We have a mole at the Tom Brady auction.
Correct. So I just wanted to say that.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Before getting into it. Yeah. So
Thank you.
We'll keep everyone updated on that.
Wow.
Tom Brady posted on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And the main photo in this carousel is him shirtless, holding a fish with a caption that says, "A little warmer than it looked in Buffalo last night." For context, there was a Buffalo Bills game in the snow. They beat the San Francisco 49ers. This is the most guy who got a divorce and is making a Tinder profile. Tinder fish pics.
I almost feel like he's trolling us at this point. This
Yeah.
is so obvious. Like Tinder, men on Tinder with pictures of fish, that they've just caught. They're beautiful fish. I will give him that. I don't know what that's a bass or something.
Why were you asking me? I don't eat fish. I don't know.
Go back to it. Let me see that sucker. Yeah, that looks like a beautiful sockeye salmon or a bass. He's on the ocean. It's probably not a salmon. I think they live in rivers, whatever.
That doesn't look like a salmon.
No, it doesn't.
Why am I even pretending like I know?
It's pink, whatever.
I don't know.
Someone can tell us what kind of fish
tell
it
us.
is. But Tom Brady is... He is posing. He has a hat on so that his face is in shadow. It almost is a parody of what guys put on dating profiles.
Yes.
So I think he's doing it on purpose.
You think?
I feel like it's kind of a subtle look.
No.
People run his social media. We know who they are. Someone let him post that.
Someone let him post it.
So I would imagine maybe they were like, well, no, people say yes to celebrities. They were probably like, great fish.
I think he was like, I look good.
Yeah.
He's shirtless. He does look good. Like, I'm not saying he's like, he's out of shape. Like, he looks good. It's definitely a thirst trap. And he posted it to get some DMs.
You're right. Oh, he does do that a lot
Come
too.
on. And if we go through the carousel, second photo, he's playing golf.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a Tinder photo. Okay. Next photo, close up of the fish, Tinder photo. Next photo, a close-up shot of the golf ball.
This is my favorite thing about this.
Huh?
He's doing two
Tinder photo?
He's doing two activities, and then he just shows you close-ups of what those activities are. He was like, I caught a fish, and then he's like, in case you're wondering, here are more fish. And he's like, I went golfing, and then here's a golf ball, which appears to be mid-flight. So maybe he just thought it was a cool photo. And you know what? They are good photos.
Can I tell you something funny also about this post?
Please.
He pinned it to his Instagram profile. It's pinned. It's a pinned post at the top of his Instagram grid.
What are most of the comments on that?
The comments, David Beckham saying, nice hat, man. I don't know what his hat is. Maybe it's like a David Beckham company or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell what it is.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Fine wine. Tom Brady fishing. Let's go. 50-year-old Brady thirst trap. Agreed. My glorious king, you would have thrown for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in that weather last night. Good job, Tom. Brady at 47 looks better than most people in their 20s these days. LOL.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay, yeah, no.
He's a celebrity.
Shit.
He has access to tools that most of us do not.
Correct. But
it's pretty simple. If you're rich, you can look as hot as you want.
Correct.
He pinned it.
To me, that is like he's making a statement. You don't pin a post unless it's like you're making a statement. This is like, I feel like him pinning it was like his official, I'm single.
I was just going to say.
Like a bulletin board announcement at a coffee shop.
Take one if you want my number.
With the little like pull up.
Here's some wild conjecture.
Okay.
I feel like Brady might have just gone through a breakup or like a situationship might have just ended. That we did not publicly know about, because this is kind of what you do when you're getting back out there. And he's like he wants people to slide into his DMs with that.
He pinned it.
He pinned it. And I'm sure people are.
He pinned it.
So I feel like I feel like he might have been, because he hasn't posted a thirst trap for a while. I feel like maybe he was.
You're so right.
So I feel like maybe he's newly single.
Okay,
even if he was.
Okay, I feel like you're so right though, because the last time he posted a shirtless photo was September 23rd. Maybe he was casually seeing someone right after then for like a month.
Maybe
that tracks.
they slid into his DMs based on that thirst trap, and then it was a situationship, and then it ended, and then he posted another one.
Oh,
it's like his call, his mating call, is a thirst trap with a fish.
100%. You're right. You're so right.
Once again, we are just the preeminent Tom Brady detectives. And it's part of me is like, do you think he ever hears that he's ever? Do you think someone's told him like, hey, there are two ladies out there who are like obsessed with psychoanalyzing you based on your Instagram, and he's like,
I hope he knows.
I do too, because I think he might think it's pretty funny.
Tom, really, like, we'd love to have you on the pod.
No press is bad press, and I would argue this is pretty good press, because we're basically just saying you look great.
You
People
look great.
should DM you.
Yeah, you look great.
I have this fantasy that like someone has told us that this exists, and it is the funniest thing ever to me to think about Tom Brady listening to this, being like, I am so much richer than these two girls.
100%. He can fund our podcast. No, I do think you're right, and I feel like someone who knows someone has sent this to him.
We know.
I feel it in my bones.
We know that there's an overlap.
There's an overlap.
So if you haven't already, tell Tom that we're really invested.
6 degrees of Tom Brady. We're definitely in there.
Okay, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all we've got.
Yeah.
For today, Madeline. I think it was a juicy show. We apologize for the vacuum, and by we I mean I, because this is my apartment.
It's not your fault.
Thanks. So supportive.
So supportive. By the way, I have to say, a couple of days ago, that was yesterday. Charlotte and I filmed a TikTok, which if you don't follow us on TikTok, at Sports Gossip Show.
Not to brag, we're blown up.
We're blown up. We actually gained like 1,000 followers in a week, which I feel like is pretty good for some
Not
millennials
on
TikTok, on the clock app, as they say. But Charlotte and I were texting about where we were going to film this TikTok, whether it was going to be at Charlotte's apartment or my apartment. And our text exchange was the most like women not just saying what they want. Text. It was like the most word salad. It was like the quote.
It was like
the quote from page 6 for the Taylor Swift Insider.
It was
I was like, just wait. I literally was like, we're acting like women. Just
Madeline,
tell me what you want.
I was like,
where do you want to film this?
Madeline was like, I'll come over. And I was like, that's great. I can also come to you. And she was like, whatever works for you. And I was like, no, really, let me know. And then you finally just go, stop being a girl.
Yeah.
What are we doing? And I was like, I'm going to come to you.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of a no worries if not.
No worries if not. But we also meant it.
No, we really did. I really did.
Which is sort of the funniest part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
You know, we're just two women recovering from corporate America.
Correct. We're trying to own our truth. Stand in our power.
Stand in our power.
Yes.
Tell people to just give us money.
Give us money.
We'll see if it works. Who knows?
Who knows?
I think we have a pretty valuable product with some pretty
so
impressive statistics and
we do.
A social demographic that many people would kill for.
Correct. And an engagement rate that is through the roof.
I feel insane.
Anyways, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening and your support as always. And thank you for sending in all the questions and topics.
Oh my God.
We got so many.
I think we should do that again.
Yeah, I think that was great.
As always. Tips appreciated.
Tips appreciated. Oh,
and I mean, like, not. I know I just talked about money, but like, tell us if you know anything that's going on in the sports world. Send us a message.
Send it our way. And then also, we may be recording a special little bonus episode. Maybe
we'll tease that
about a highly requested topic.
Yeah.
We won't say anything else, but stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.